So, last year, Samsung did something different with their Note lineup. 2019 was the first time when Samsung introduced two Notes side by side instead of just one, the Galaxy Note 10 and the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. And this year, they've done it again. Say hello to the Galaxy Note 20 and the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. And honestly speaking, the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra seems fine, but the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 feels slightly out of place. Welcome to the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 review. What's up guys, this is AK, and although the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 is the smaller version of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, there's still quite a lot of differences between the two phones, more than what you would expect. And especially when you combine the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 with the price tag, it feels really overpriced. But why exactly is that? So, let's begin with the design. The Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra has a glass and metal design as we see on a lot of phones these days, but the Note 20 on the other hand has a plastic back. They both give off the frosted glass look, which is much better than the Samsung Galaxy Note 10, but the Note 20 just doesn't feel as premium as the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. I think we can all agree that phones with a glass back feel more premium compared to phones with a plastic back, but that doesn't mean plastic is necessarily bad. They both have their pros and cons. The Google Pixel, for example, pulls off the plastic back really well. Plastic not only makes the phone more durable and less of a fingerprint magnet, but it also makes it cheaper to manufacture. Glass may be less durable and less scratch resistant, but it makes the phone feel more premium. But regardless, you're probably going to put a case on anyway, so I don't think it really matters. But still, it's confusing why Samsung wouldn't want both their phones to look and feel similar. Okay, enough with the glass and plastic argument. Other than that, both have the same metal frame with both the volume rocker and the power button on the right side of the phone and no buttons on the left side. The camera bump on the Note 20 Ultra is huge. I mean it. Much larger than the camera bump on the S20 Ultra. On the bottom you have your USB-C port, the speaker grills, and of course the S Pen. Although the Note 20 Ultra is bigger than the Note 20, they both have the exact same S Pen. If we talk about the S Pen, there has been an improvement in latency. The coordinates of the S Pen can now be recorded at a frame level, and that, combined with the 120Hz refresh rate, makes the writing feel a lot like the Apple Pencil. And let me tell you, writing on this is really satisfying. You can still go all out Harry Potter on the S Pen like last year and use it like a wand to control your phone due to the accelerometer and the gyroscope, which can sense where exactly in space the S Pen is being moved. If we flip the phone over, the most obvious difference you see here is the curved display. The smaller Note 20 with a 6.7-inch display does not have a curved screen as opposed to the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, which has a 6.9-inch display and is curved off at the sides. I personally prefer the Note 20 display because the way I see it is that flat screens make the phone more usable. Curved displays do look sick, but they're just slightly less usable. However, I don't think it's really a deal breaker. The display on the Note 20 Ultra really looks a lot like the Note 10, considering the boxy shape and the edge-to-edge screen. The Note 20 Ultra has a 1440p display, whereas the Note 20 has a 1080p display, which isn't bad, but just a slight downgrade. Another difference between the Note 20 and the Note 20 Ultra is the refresh rate. On the Note 20, you're missing the 120Hz refresh rate, which only the Note 20 Ultra has. A 120Hz display does look really smooth, but it takes a toll on your battery. Just look at this phone. It's huge, and the Note 10 wasn't the kind of phone which you could kill in just one day, but now with the Note 20, that's actually possible. Other than that, you can expect to see the usual bright, colorful and sharp display that Samsung phones usually have. Talking about battery, the Note 20 has a 4300 mAh battery, whereas the Note 20 Ultra has a 4500 mAh battery. So there isn't much difference in the battery department. You can expect to see about 11 to 12 hours of battery life on this phone, but that is when you set the refresh rate to 60Hz. Once you bump it up to 120Hz, you'll start to see that it takes a toll on the battery. Gaming in 120Hz is the dream of every smartphone gamer, but on the Note 20, gaming in 120Hz drains the battery like nothing else. But let's be real, not all of us watching this are smartphone gamers, right? Well, in that case, you can expect a decent battery life on both the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 and the Note 20 Ultra. Also, both the phones support 5G, which puts more stress on the battery. Both 5G and high refresh rates are a relatively new technology to smartphones, and I think it will take some time for batteries to accommodate that. Let's talk about performance. You're getting the same processor on both the phones. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 for models sold in the US and the Exynos 990 for models sold outside the US. This does translate into a great gaming experience combined with the 120Hz refresh rate and the colorful display, but it's still lagging behind the iPhone 11 Pro from last year. It's not bad by any means. I really enjoy gaming on this phone. The smaller Note 20 only has 8GB of RAM, whereas the bigger Note 20 Ultra has 12GB of RAM, so that's another difference between the two. The Note 20 only has one storage option at 128GB, whereas the Note 20 Ultra has two storage options at 128GB and 512GB. On top of that, only the Note 20 Ultra has expandable storage, so that's another big difference between the two phones. Moving on, let's talk about the camera system. Like I mentioned, the camera bump on the Note 20 Ultra is significantly larger than the bump on the Note 20, but does that translate to better camera performance? Both the phones rock a triple camera system on the back, but once again, the Note 20 is a scaled down version of the Note 20 Ultra. The Note 20 has a 12MP ultra wide-angle lens with an f2.2 aperture, a 12MP wide-angle lens with an f1.8 aperture, and a 64MP telephoto lens with an f2.0 aperture. The Note 20 Ultra, on the other hand, has a 12MP ultra wide-angle lens with an f2.2 aperture, a 108MP wide-angle lens with an f1.8 aperture, and a 12MP telephoto lens with an f3.0 aperture. The Note 20 offers up to 30 times zoom, and the Note 20 Ultra offers up to 50 times zoom. If we were to compare the 30 times zoom on both the phones, the Note 20 Ultra clearly surpasses the Note 20. Other than that, both the cameras capture equally good photos. Here are some sample photos from both the phones. The photos have a classic Samsung look with the sharpening and saturated colors, and they look great. So, we've talked about everything: the camera, the performance, the display, and you may have realized that in a lot of these areas, the Note 20 is a scaled down version of the Note 20 Ultra. That's actually fine, but in this case, it's not reflected in the price. Let me just quickly summarize everything that the Note 20 is missing that the Note 20 Ultra has. 1. The Note 20 Ultra has a glass back, whereas the Note 20 has a plastic back, which is cheaper to manufacture. 2. The Note 20 has a completely flat display, whereas the Note 20 Ultra has a curved display. 3. The smaller Note 20 doesn't have the 120Hz refresh rate. 4. You can only maximize the resolution to 1080p on the Note 20 compared to the 1440p resolution on the Note 20 Ultra. 5. The Note 20 Ultra has more RAM than the Note 20 and expandable storage. Also, I doubt you're going to use a 30x zoom, but if you are, the Note 20 Ultra does it better. So, you can see just how much the Note 20 is missing, and yet it costs $1,000 in the US. If you're a heavy user and you want to buy the Samsung Galaxy Note 20, go with the Note 20 Ultra, which costs $1,300 in the US. And here's a better tip: if you're willing to give up the S Pen, go with the S20 instead. That will be much more worth it. That is it. That is my review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 and the Note 20 Ultra. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys found it helpful. And if you did, drop a like on this video. I will really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And make sure you check out my other videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.